Hey, this is Walt with Buck Auto Body Parts, and today we're doing another update on our 67 Chevy pickup. We've been up to a lot on the truck lately, trying to get this done. It's mid-September now, and the weather's starting to change, so trying to get the truck on the road, at least be able to drive it before it snows or it gets too cold out. So, just giving you an update here of what we've been doing. As you can see, we have exhaust on the truck now. We wanted to get it all the way back, so it comes all the way back here, but without the bed on, I didn't want to finish that because I can't really tell where the pipes are going to be or anything. So we've been just trying to get things done to get the truck driving. So just put some dumpers on the exhaust for right now. That'll work. We can drive it, and then over the winter, once we get the bed on, we'll finish the exhaust. Get a good look at the exhaust here. Let's see. We ran the exhaust. I'll show you once we get under there. We ran it from the passenger side and took both pipes down the driver's side. The reason we did that is there is pretty much no room on the passenger side to get past the transfer case. There is a small area, but I don't think you could really get a pipe in there without it rattling around and hitting things. And the other way to do it would be to go under the cross member, which would put the exhaust really low and just be kind of odd looking. So decided to go that route. And you can see kind of how it comes in under there and then comes up over the back. We used Flowmaster Delta Flow 50 series mufflers with 2.5-inch pipes. The pipes we used are a 409 stainless steel kit that we got from Summit, and it's the kit is designed, it's all basically the slip joint type pipe, so one end is normal size, the other end is expanded so that the pipes can slip into each other. That made putting the exhaust together pretty easily, because those slip fits that they have, they're kind of oversized a little bit, so there is a good bit of wiggle room. So when you put a pipe in there, the pipe doesn't really fit snug. It kind of moves around a little bit, so if you need to adjust the angle of it, that makes it easier. One downside is that because it doesn't fit real tight, the gaps that you get right here, like where the pipes come together, can be pretty large, and it made it kind of difficult to weld. The 409 stainless just doesn't seem like it welds very nice. Unlike a 304 stainless or like a mild steel, it acts a little different, and especially with those big gaps, I tried TIG welding it, and it just didn't want to work very well. It was too much of a gap to try and fill with like a TIG rod. So ended up MIG welding it. The welds did not come out looking very nice, but I'm pretty sure it's all sealed up and should be strong and all that. So that's the main goal with this, is just to make sure that everything works. So here is the underside. You can see how we ran that. All the way up to the front. It goes through the cross member. Not a lot of room, but hopefully just enough room that nothing rattles against itself. And then you can see the two pipes that run up. And the driver's side runs straight up to the header, and then the passenger side crosses over. It was kind of tight up there around the front axle. So I think we have enough clearance there. It looks a lot closer than it is, but hopefully that'll work out good. Moving on to the inside, we got all the wiring is pretty much done. There are still a few odds and ends that need done, but for the most part, the wiring is completed. We put some Stewart Warner gauges in there. I wanted to keep the original gauge cluster, so that stayed the same. I didn't want to put any or mess around with that, putting any different gauges in it or anything like that. And that all functions, so I wanted to try to keep it as much original as possible. Got all our transfer case stuff in. As you saw in the video, got our lizard skin in on the floor. So pretty much all we have to do is put our transmission tunnel back in. That's sitting over there. I had to do a little touch up with that. There was some rust around the edges, so got that cleaned up. But all that's staying the same. As we move forward, starting to get everything wrapped up with the motor. Got our valve covers done. We made a video on that. Got those painted. Carburetors on. Got all the linkage connected. All our vacuum lines are on. And I think that's pretty much it. We got to route. We have to route the spark plug wires. I originally, when I was putting the motor together, I made all the plug wires to length, and I made them so that they would run around the back of the valve cover on both sides. And I had little brackets on there, and it was nice and clean. Then we put the motor in the truck, and you can see how tight the motor is to the back. So that created a problem with the valve covers hitting. And now I can't run the plug wires in the back because the brackets and everything I made don't fit back there because they're basically touching the firewall. So we had a tall aluminum style valve cover on it, and we ended up reusing the stock valve covers, putting our breathers and PCV valve in there. All this wiring is pretty much done. It just needs kind of tidied up. Once we get the rad in, we're waiting on that. We can get that in, finish wiring the fans, and then this will all kind of get zip tied and secured and hopefully look neater. One thing I did want to show you is my choke setup. These Quadrajets, on a lot of these, they didn't have mechanical chokes necessarily. If you look on the intake there's that area for where the heat riser goes. That is what actuated the choke. It had one of those coil springs in there that would expand and activate the choke, and that's how that would work.